Good morning to everybody. We are getting ready to open up a 1950 roll. 1950 isn't really well known for varieties, but they are difficult to find in nice BU condition, and I figured a lot of people here would like to have one for their set. So, that is really why this roll is an important roll to me to do for you guys. Also, we never know what we might discover in a 50D roll. So far, only one real double die known for 1950. Did I say 50Ds? 50P, 50 Philadelphia. And that would be a double die lid. So we will see what we can generate out of this roll. How's everybody doing today? Wow, look how early die state that is. That's pretty. That's really nice. We might actually find some goodies. Who knows? I'll have to check obverse and reverse on the first 10 coins at least. I'll probably do half the roll that way, just because we can. And with coins like this, that's a wow factor thing. Very nice looking. Hey, Mickey. And Frosty. Good morning, Frosty. All right, got coin number 1 in and out of the way. Let's move on to coin number 2. This one here for Tripwit. Wow, how pretty. Man, this is nice. These coins are pretty high grade. They're pretty nice. Glad I'm able to provide here. Looking for anything that doesn't equal mundane, because so far we know of very little on the 1950 Lincoln Cent. Now, the proof, there is a double die reverse known, but that's only on proof coins. So, we continue to look. We continue to try. Try as we might. This used to be an ender right here. There's a clash mark of the C of cent on the back of Lincoln's neck area. All right, nothing there. There is a chance we could discover something new. Who knows? You know, it's not going to be a repunch mint mark. So, if we discover anything new, it'll be a double die. I'm going to start watching my dies here. I've got north and south die scratches running through the date on this coin. A couple of little die scratches to the east and west at the bottom of the U and trust. That's probably all I really need to be able to follow this one pretty well. See what the reverse looks like. Once I know most of my dies, we can stop turning those over. Good morning, Mr. Hawthorne. I hope things are well with you there in Lakeland. There's coin number 5. This one for Carl. Ugh. This one doesn't look so nice. That's kind of weird. Might have been a few coins kind of tossed into a partial original roll. Sorry about this one. I'll make it up to you, Carl. It's one for Sissy. A little bit later dice date on this one. Cracked skull up there. No doubling on the obverse. Nothing on the reverse either. No, my sinuses are fine. It's morning, so I sniffle a little bit in the mornings. Let's see what DC comes up with out of this. Little die scratch running up from the lower right corner of the 1. Coins and Ghouls, good morning to you. And got a couple of little marks out in front of the eye, but I don't think either one of those make up any doubling. They just look like die gouges. They don't match up with what I would be looking for as a doubled eye. Maybe I do have a little bit of a sniffle. I don't feel bad at all, though. I want to show you this. I believe this coin has it. Yes, it does. See that little tiny bit of doubling on the lower part of the E. It's right in here. You can see some separation right there. And on some coins, you can actually see it in the middle, too. But I don't think in this one you can see it up there. No. That is master die doubling. Exists on a lot of 1950 Lincolns. Just so you know. All right, got nothing else here. Let's check the reverse. Be our first look at the reverse of this particular die pair. Got nothing going on there. I really need to retire for real. That's what I'm trying to work toward. Is being able to get myself in a position where I can do exactly what I want to anytime. All right, here's one for Mickey. Let's see what we got here from Mickey. That's another. Okay, so this one has some angled die scratches running underneath the date. I'll get my lighting situated here. Now that was interesting. As soon as I lowered that down, I saw these lines on the 0 and thought that was separation for a double die. I thought we had something big. But that apparently is not doubling at all. And it isn't, because if it were a separation line, it would end and then it would pick up on the inside, on the opposite side, whichever side would be doubled, because doubling is taking the exact same letter and shifting it. If you think about that, you shift it over just a little bit. Your separation isn't going to be on the inside like this going all the way around. So that's not doubling, that's a stain of some sort. So let's move on and check the rest of this coin. That looks like it could, no, that's scratches, okay. So I got a few die scratches up here. I also get like froggy throat in the morning. My froggy morning throat issue is probably because I smoked for about 30 years. But I quit over 10 years ago. I'm not sure what Carl is saying. just answered your questions on the Lincoln Cent auctions site. Did I have questions over there, or did somebody else have questions for me? Were they my questions? Number 9 now for Frank. Right, yeah, Mickey got it 100% straight up. It's on his coin, so there's nothing on it. Part that confuses you. How does it happen to just one section of letter at times? It's because, like, for instance, if you look at the 1995 double die, the big one, you'll notice that there's a lot of doubling around Liberty and in God. And then as we get over to the end of Trust, it starts to calm down. And when you get all the way around to the date, then there's no doubling at all. The reason for that is because the doubling was pivoted from a point near the rim. So imagine you're playing basketball and you got a pivot foot. You can move one, but you never move the other one while you're holding on to the ball. And that one that you never move isn't going to have any doubling because your footprint's going to be in the same place, no matter how much you pivot the other side. What do you think, boys and girls? Does that look like an eyelid to you? I think that could be a doubled eyelid there. I'm going to pull this out and look at it a little more closely with both eyes later on. There's more of that master die doubling there. Okay. All right, Carl. I appreciate that. No need, though. Those of you who I know and have known for quite some time, you come over and join my Facebook group, and you'll get the royal treatment. Turn what upside down? Oh, the eyelid? Let's see. Well, it suddenly disappears, doesn't it? So I guess whatever that is indented or something because it doesn't have any shadow going this way. Let me mess with the light here and get the light down to a point where it's going to show anything that's there. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. Good point, Carl. Thank you. Sorry about that, Taco. But Carl, this time around, helped me pull out the truth. Here's one for Eric. I am looking for anything we can call a discovery. This would be really cool if we could discover something new today. And I've pulled nothing so far. There's one for Eric. Now, number 12 for Carl. Let's see what Carl gets on this coin. It's going to be a little bit later die state. Looks like it might be that same die again with the looks like a die indentation or something. Just a moderately late die state, 1950 Lincoln Cent. Coin 13, back to Mickey. Different die, that's for sure. We haven't seen this reverse yet. But, like Mickey said, it's his coin. It's not going to have anything on it. Sorry. That was a Canadian way to say it. Sorry. Nothing on that obverse. This shows that it was a ender. The reverse is toned down, spotted, slightly different color from the obverse. So that was exposed to the air. The Aya. Alright, coin 15, Jackalope Herdmaster. Seen this die a couple of times. We've got something trailing on the B. It's a little bit of a die crack. I've noticed that a couple of times before. Discovery happens when you find something that's not been seen before. It doesn't necessarily mean it has to be in any particular spot. So we look at everything when we're trying to have discovery. And since none of us have seen inside this roll before, it's an exciting adventure. Doesn't matter if we get the prize. What matters is that the adventure is fun. That's the entertainment value here. There's one for Jim. This die we haven't seen. This one's got a big mark above the 1. Too bad the coin's a bit spotty. Let's see what the other side looks like here. Cuds are actually kind of scarce. Now, what some people call cuds, the like interior die break stuff, die chips, things like that, I see those quite a bit. But real cuds, I think I have found one real cud in my entire life. They are definitely not common. To me, they're less common than most of the double dies. And since there are no official mintage figures for either, it's kind of hard for us to tell the truth about that. But you have to imagine if there was one cud, all right, and that one cud developed on a die, it probably would have broken apart within 5 or 10,000 strikes. I mean, completely broken apart. Couldn't use it anymore. Whereas a double die could mint half a million coins. Carl, instruct our illustrious friend Shinbone on what a cheese curd is. It's a cheese cud. You make me sound like I'm from up north. A cheese cad, you know. Oh, aren't you funny? Tim. Let's see what we can come up with for Tim. We do have a 1952 D roll coming up next, which is basically kind of the antecedent to the 1950 plain when it comes to die varieties. You got a lot of RPMs known in 1952. Nice spiked head die crack going on there. This is a better look at what we were talking about earlier with the doubling on the E of we. Now you can see it on the center and the top. The center and the lower part. Top as we're looking at it. That is not a doubled die, it is a doubled master die. So yes, it is die doubling, but it is die doubling in the sense that it was on an upper, it's an upper step of the pyramid of making coins. All right, coin number 22, Jackalope Herdmaster. Wow, look how fresh that reverse is. That's pretty. It's always nice to stick a nice earlier die state coin under a scope. Just pretty. That right there is pretty. All right, Shinbone, let's see what we've got for you. I'm going to get a cheese cud. I don't think so. I think this is a die we've seen. So in pat. I also have some of that waxy buildup around the edges of the coins. I've been instructed that that is probably a lubricant that they used on the dies. How many of the DDO DDR RPM coins did I find in yesterday's pull? I believe 3, maybe 4. I didn't separate them, so I didn't count them. But I think as I was going through, I think I found 3 or 4 of them. Coin 25 now for Stone Cutter. We'll let you guys know that we do have a reveal show coming up this evening. Number of different wheat rolls. I think Eric is doing a 49D and a 56D. I'm doing 54D, 55D, 55S, 57D. And I'll have a 59D roll, and I'll be doing a 2015 plain. 2015 plain is a really nice possibility. We are having a 1950 plain roll, Jim, which is a... Yeah, you know what, Adam? If I had known that that was a possibility... out of the rolls that I had, we would have done a few reveals of 1988 plain, but unfortunately, I sold 95% of those rolls before I knew they were coming out of the rolls. I had 4 rolls left, and I opened one of the 4 rolls and popped a few out of it. The other rolls, I sent a couple to Eric. I gave Mickey 1 or 2 or 3 of them. I can't remember. But anyhow, I spread the wealth on the end of the end of the lot there. And unfortunately, out of the rolls that I had left, when I found out those existed in the rolls I had, only one of the rolls had them. Jim. Let's see what Jim gets. Nice fresh obverse. We have seen this particular die pair, though. Got nothing on it. What popped out of the 88 roll? I found 7 flared G coins, the FS 901 in the 1988. That's a reverse of 89. Nice little die crack there. And Adam found 3 in his roll. I know Benjamin Sanborn found some in a roll that I had sold to him. Anybody who's bought any of the 1988 Philadelphia rolls from me and still has them might want to consider the possibility. Now, all the rolls I know of have been opened. I could probably go back in the records and find out who bought all of the rolls from me, but to me it's not really my business after I sell the rolls. After I sell the rolls, you're going to do with them what you please. Yeah, but there were that flared G 89 reverse, FS 901 transitional reverse, whatever you want to call it, is quite rare still. Here's the other ender. Yes, I did just sell one, Jim. I've also got one up on eBay right now. Score number 33, Kurt Pierce. It's finally my break. I've spent about 40 years doing this and have to date not ever run into anything that was a big monetary windfall until this roll. I've never found anything worth a ton of money. So this was my big break. Here's one for Carl. Okay. Alrighty then. Adam, does a Denver actually exist? I didn't know there was a Denver. I don't know that PCGS mentions a Denver mint. I mean, it could exist. And if it does, okay, it does. I've got a ton of Denver rolls. I've got a lot of 88D rolls still. think Diggin' Dave found one. Okay. Was it in one of my Illinois Armored rolls, perchance? I know there have been a number of people purchase 1988 D rolls from you. Nobody has reported back. Okay. Nobody has reported back yet that there was anything exciting in the 88 D rolls, other than one RPM that I know of. And that was to Eric Maith. He found a decent looking RPM in one of the 88 D rolls that I sent to him. One number 38 now for Kurt Pierce. Looks like a die crack up there on the in. Yeah, this has got the spiked head die crack. So that's a die pair we have seen. '88 D rolls had some high grade coins. What's a 67 run? Is it worth doing? Because I know they had mint sets that year, and there are a lot of high grade mint set coins that have been submitted. Some of this roll's a little bit rough. Good morning, Mike. Do you prefer, when someone calls you by name, do you prefer Mike or Michael? I notice that pretty much everything you've got is listed as Michael. It's my son's name and my father's name, and both of them prefer Mike. Okay. My son was named after my father. So they're both named Mike Daughtrey. Very, very different people, though. It's kind of, you know how your mom called you when you were in trouble? And that's the only time I ever used Michael. So my son was in trouble. Michael, get over here. And typically when I call him, I just call him by name, or just call him by son. Hey, son. Now, like when I call my dog, I just call him Booger. He comes running. Come here, Booger. He also knows Sherman, but I just call him Booger. I think someday when I get another dog, if I ever get another dog, I'm going to name it something like Booger. Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. My son's first and middle name together are a little longer to say, so I skipped the middle name altogether. His middle name is Dimitri. So if you say it in Greek, it comes out pretty nice. Yeah, 88 is, the 88 plane is 67 plus is the top pop. I got a couple of 67s. Got one of them on eBay right now. There's a minimum bid of $800 with a bin at $1,200, and no one has bid yet. I think it ends on Thursday. Yeah, I think the prices on PCGS CoinFax are maybe a little inflated. If Great Collections has any, or Heritage has any, those prices are likely to be a little more realistic. Although I do believe the past, let's see, I don't remember where I looked it up to get the pricing. I mean, I know I looked in a few different places. But I was hoping to get $1,200 a piece for mine. Folks, I don't think we're going to find anything in this roll, which would be completely normal, especially for 1950. Oh, well, if it was the 88D even circulated, 88D would be a high dollar puppy. Because I didn't even know for sure they existed. But I'm being told they do. And who am I to doubt that? All right, up to number 48 now. Sissy. As soon as we finish this up, I'm going to close this broadcast down and go over and work with the next broadcast. Now, that is a doubled eyelid right there. I do believe this is a doubled eyelid. Let's do Carl's trick. Yeah, it shows up in this direction too. So that coin for Sissy, I believe, is a doubled eyelid. It may be DD01, but I'm not sure. So we'll get a better, closer look at it and tell exactly what it is once we look at it with two eyes instead of on a screen. I'm going to have my wife come in and take pictures of me while I'm doing this, so that you guys can see the position I'm sitting in and the contortion it takes to handle this job. $49 for Carl. 66 SMS nickel. You got it in 1966? And you were sure it would make deep cameo? There's a few things that you have to look for a decam, especially with PCGS. With PCGS, there can't be any breaks in that cameo, even around the eye socket and other areas that are lower in relief on the coin. Those are the ones that would be higher in relief on the die, thus any polishing would hit those. It also has to be very consistent, obverse and reverse. Can't just be on one side. Now, deep cameo, that's a pretty tall order for a 1960s coin, from before 1968 anyway. All right, Chuck Patillo, last one here. And that sure looks like a doubled eyelid there. Doesn't really much show up. So that is that. Got one possible listable doubled eyelid out of the roll. which even that surprises me. So we have done relatively well with this 1950 Philadelphia roll. Getting ready to do a 1952 Denver roll. Back out and take a look for reveal number 839. Go in there, wait for me. I'll be there in just a few minutes. I appreciate it, folks. I'll see you then.